Here we have to find the solution of the equations by graphing them. Let's start now with the first one. A is x squared minus 16. F of x is x squared minus 16. We have to graph it. Now, from here, as we said before, we have to find the axis of symmetry. Since there's no b, so it will be at x equals 0. So here we have the axis of symmetry. At this point here, let's make it more thin. This will be now the axis of symmetry. Now, I have to find now the vertices. The vertices, to find it, we have to evaluate with x0. So f of 0 will be negative 16. So at point negative 16, imagine it is here, we have our vertex. Then we have to find any other points. Let's choose point 4. Let's choose point 2 as an example. At point 4, or let's write like this. Here we have an x, here we have an y. For point x, let's choose another points like 2 and 4. At point 2, 2 squared.
4.
4 minus 16.
Negative 12.
Negative 12.
Negative
Thank
12.
you. At point 4, 4 squared.
16.
16 minus 16.
0.
0. So the coordinates that I have here, I have 2, negative 12, and 4, 0. Let's plot them now on the curve here. 2, negative 12. Let's imagine it is here. 4, 0. Let's connect now between them to make as a U curve. Then make a mirror or reflection for them. Now for this x squared minus 16, at how many points does it intercept the x-axis?
2.
2 points, exactly. What are these 2 points?
Negative 4 and 4.
Negative 4 and 4. So negative 4 and 4 will be the solutions of this equation. Is it clear?
Yes.
Yes, miss.
Okay. Now at point B now. 3 x squared.
Check, I got the solutions at negative 6 and 6.
No, it's wrong.
It's wrong.
Yes, at
Okay.
point 4 and 5. Later on, you will see that how you find it without a graphing. We will see how you find the exact value. But
Okay.
because from the second way, which I know it before, I know the answers, I put for you, I graph or I draw for you correctly. Let's see here, I draw it now. Sometimes if you want to graph any shape at home and you want to check if it's correct or no, use an application or a website we call this MOS calculator. Look at it here. I will show you here. Okay, at home, if you need it, you write this MOS graphing calculator. Okay, for this one, if you want to check that your graphing is correct or no, just write the equation like this: x. So see, if you say ix, they make a linear function. Now, if I told him x squared, let's make a U curve. Now, this is an x squared. If I want, as an example, x squared minus 4, they graph it for me. Look at it here. X squared minus 4, they have 2 points, negative 2, 0, and 2, 0. These are the solutions of it. Another example, -8. It is at point -2.8 and 2.8 positive. -25 at point -50 and at point 50. Let's have now like this. 3x squared. They make it more narrowest, but it has more one solution. But if you have 0.5, look at it here, it will be more wide than the x squared. This is the x squared. Okay?
Okay.
Let's draw now 0.3 x squared. Look at it here. How it will be more wider. If you graph now 7x squared. This is the green one. The green one, yeah, which would be more wider, the red one. If you graph now, it's x squared -5, as I told you before. This x squared -5, that's mean I bring the red one, this one, did you see it, the red one? And I translate it down 5 units. That's mean x squared -5. I remove this one and this one here. This is x squared. This is x squared -5. That's I shifted down 5 units. If I make it now as x squared +5, it's shifted up 5 units, as you see here. Okay. So if you want to check your solution, if it is correct or no, just here. This is the website. You can use it. I will send it to you on WhatsApp. You can use it to graph any lesson you want, or any equation you want. So you can know if your current solution or if your answer is correct or not. Now come back here. 3x squared plus 6. Here we have 3x squared plus 6. Let's draw it now. As I told you, you must write it in the standard form. 3x squared plus 6. Since there's no b, that means this is our axis of symmetry. Now, let's find the vertex now. At point x equals 0, you will say 3, 0 squared plus 6. This is an f of 0.
Teacher, how you write it in the standard form?
At most, you put the variable with the constant ax squared plus bx plus c on term, isolate in term, and put the 0 in the other term. It's written only. At c, I will show you how to write it.
Okay.
A and b is ready. Oh, A and ready, sorry. So it's a 3 times 0, 0 plus 6, 6. So the vertex here is 0.606. Here is the vertex. Let's need another point. Like like 0.1 as an example. 3 times 1.
3.
Let's choose 0.1. Plus 6. 9. Yes. So at 0.1, it has a 9. It is here.
Teacher, the 0 is what? Okay.
Ah, I made something wrong here. It is not 0, -6. It's 0, 6. Here it has to be. Sorry. Okay, I'm sorry. Here it is 0, 6. I put them in negative 6. Okay, it has to be here. Let's choose another point, like point 2 as an example. 3 or point 3 times 2 squared plus 6. 2 squared is 4 plus 3. 12 plus 6, 18. So it will be up here.
12.
Then if you connect now between them, you will make this U-curve. At which point it's touch the x-axis?
6, 0, 6.
The x-axis.
The x-axis is nowhere.
Nowhere, exactly.
It
There's
doesn't.
no point that's touch the x-axis. So is there any
Nothing.
solution now for this equation?
No.
No.
No solution. No.
There's no. What does it mean? That means there's no number. I square it. I multiply it by 3. And I add 6 to it to get 0. So there's no
Teacher,
solution for this equation.
I have a question.
Yes.
Teacher, when can I know where is the b? Why is not 6, for example, the b?
Okay. Here, this equation here, it's 3x squared plus 6. The standard form is ax squared plus bx plus c. So if there's a number that is multiplied with x, this will be a b. But this one, this 6, is not multiplied by
So it
any
needs to be
number.
multiplied by
So this will be c, and this will be a. But there's
okay,
no
thank
b
you.
Our
because b,
graphic.
it's the number that's multiplied by x.
Dr. Chen, in this case, how I will graph it, يعني?
Which one?
يعني I will find, يعني I will choose random, random points to plot it.
For this one? The second one?
Yes.
We know it's
No, ax squared plus 3 only.
3x. Sorry? Which one?
Teacher C. When it is ax squared plus c, the vertex will be 0 and the c, and it's
Yes.
0, 6 like.
Yes, I told you if there's no b, the vertex it will be 0, c. If there is a b, the y-intercept will be 0, c. Okay, if there's a b, the y-intercept it will be 0, c. But
Okay.
like this one, there's no b. So the 0, c now, it will be the vertex.
Okay.
Okay?
Mm.
Now let's do c. At c here now, look at it. We have an x squared minus 25 equal negative 25. Before graphing here, this one, it's not written in the standard form. I told you, if you want to draw it or graph it in standard form, you have to put all the numbers, all the variables, and isolate it in one side, and on the other side, you have to put 0. What can I do to isolate this negative 25? I just move them to the second side. So it will be plus 25, plus 25. Why I do this step? Because I want to make this side to be a 0, to isolate them to make them 0. It will be now what?
X squared.
X squared only. No, negative 25 plus 25 is also 0.
So x squared.
If you graph it
0.
now, at 0, 0, 1, 1. At 2, it's 2. At 1, it is, sorry. At 0, 0. At 1, it is 1. At 2, it is 4. At 3, 3 squared is 9, and so on. Negative 1, it is 1. Negative 2, it is 4. Negative 3, it is 9, and so on. This will be now the graph. For this one now here, how many solutions we have?
We have one solution, 0.
One solution, thank you, which is 0. So from here, that's mean only one number, which is 0. I subtracted it from negative 25 and I get negative 25. Is it clear?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, miss.
Let's have
Yes,
these.
teacher, I'm plotting.
There are this one here. I'm already graphing them, but to make sure how our solutions. This one is x squared minus 16, as you see. This one, what does it mean? That means I draw x squared and I shifted them down negative 16 points. As you see, it was before, it was like this. Before translating it with, if you talk about the parent function, it was like this. If you now shifting them down, it will be like the red one. The red one, it is x squared shifted with 16 units down. The second one here, as you see, it's not x squared, it's 3x squared. So it will be narrowest than the x squared. The x squared, it's come like this. It's narrowest than the x squared. Then plus 6, that's mean I shift the this 3x squared upward 6 times. Look at it here. Look at the red one here. Is there any solution? Is there any point that intercept with the x-axis here?
No.
I'm talking about the x-axis. Be careful. Don't look at the y-axis, only the x-axis. So there's no, so I will say there's no solution. Here I have how many solutions for it? I have 2 solutions. For the last one here, how many points that they are intercept with the x-axis?
2.
Here.
2. Where? 1 only, 0.
1 only. Yes. So I
Teacher,
said
you're asking
this.
about the third one. It had the first one first.
I'm okay. So
Teacher,
yes.
I solved the question of got it 1a. I solved like got it 2a, and I made it y equal m squared minus 36 instead of making x squared minus 16. So I got the solution negative 4 and 4. So
Negative 6 and 6, you mean?
negative 6
yeah.
and 6 I got.
Yes. That's correct.
So I will make got it a, 1a.
Here now, solve each equation by graphing the related function. If the function has no real number solution, write no solution. I already graphing it for you. The first one, x squared minus 9. I draw the parent function. I shifted them down 9. I shifted them down 9 units. So at which points that they are intercepted here? Look at the first one here. What are the points that they are intercepted?
3.
Yeah, here we have 1, 2, and 3.
Negative.
So they have at 3 and negative 3. Look at the second one now. X squared plus 7.
0. There is nothing.
There's no solution.
No solution.
There is no interception.
Yeah. Look at the last one.
1 only, which is
At
0.
At point 0, thank you. So
Only
at
one.
0 only, we have and one solution here. Okay. Let's talk about now the second way of solving an equation. The first way, as I told you, by graphing. The second way, by finding the square root of each side. What does it mean? Look at this problem here, how to solve using the square root. What are the solutions of 3x squared minus 15? It is 3x squared minus 75, equal 0. The first step, you have to isolate a variable in a side and put the other variable on the other side. How I move the other variable to the other side? Who can remind me?
By
Teacher, by making plus 75 plus 75.
Thank you. Plus
changing the sign.
75 plus 75. Okay. So now, after I move them like this, I have an 3x squared equal 75. Then after that, I told you now, I want them to be as a variable here and the other one with a number. But look at x squared. It is multiplied by a constant, by a number. I want the variable only. So look at the variable. The variable is multiplied by a 3. What is the inverse?
Divide by 3.
Yeah, what is
Divide
the
by 3.
inverse operation of multiplying? What's the inverse
Squared
operation of
divided by 3.
multiplying? Divide. So I will
Dividing.
divide by 3 here, the both terms. Then what I get? After I divide the both terms, I get x squared. Sorry. And 75 over 3 is what?
It's equal like 75 divided by 3.
It's 25.
Yes, 25.
After that, I need to find the solution. I didn't find it by now. By now, just I isolate them to be written as x squared minus is equal 81.
Then I'll take 25 to x squared.
Now, yeah, then what I have to do? Here now, this is first. Move the numbers here. Then, let's take this numbers, x squared minus 25 here. I want now to find the solution. To find the solution, using the square root. What does it mean? That means I have to put, it's like a balance. If you put a square root on term, you have to put the square root on the other term. But why? Why I choose the square root? Why I didn't choose the quadratic root? Why I didn't choose multiplying? Because I want only x. But here this x is squared. And we remembered in chapter 7 that the things that cancel the squared is what? The square root. So by this step, I cancel the square root, cancel the square exponent. Since it's canceling it, I have only x. X is the square root of 25. What is the square root of 25?
5.
So what about -5?
Yes, also.
Yeah, so you will say that here it could be +5 and -5. That means I have two solutions for this one, 5 and -5. Is it clear? This way, without graphing, just doing this, making these steps, you will find the final answer. You will find the roots of the equation. What does it mean? That means if I take 0.5, substituting it here, 5 squared is 25 times 3 is 75 minus 75 equals 0. So these two numbers now, if I choose one of them, substituting here in x squared times 3 minus 75, you must get 0. Is it clear?
Yes.
Yes, teacher.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, before I go to the second step, be careful. If I asked you, what is the square root of 64 only, you tell me, teacher, it is 8. But if I told you x squared equal 64, if there's a variable, and you put a square root on both terms, you will tell me now that x, it could be positive 8 and negative 8. If there's a variable, x squared equals 64, you told me that there's no two numbers that if you evaluated with x, you get 64. But if I'm asking you without expressions, without equations, without all of these complicated things, like if you are in grade 7 or still in grade 6, and I'm asking you what is the square root of 64 without variable, you will tell me it's only 8. Be careful. This one, don't forget, it has two solutions. This one, it's only have one solution. It has one solution. Is it clear?
Yes, teacher.
Teacher, طيب how it will be no solution?
Not no. Which no solution? The equations. One minute, please. We
Yes.
have examples. I will
Okay.
tell you how. What are the solutions of each equation? Look at A now here. We have an m squared minus 36. As I told you, I have to isolate the variable in term and the numbers in the other term. The variable here is subtracted from 36. What is the inverse operation of subtraction?
Adding.
Adding 36, adding 36. So m squared is equal to what now? 36. But I didn't want m squared. I only want 1m. What I have to do?
I will make the square root of
Square
both.
root of both terms. Thank you. Now, square root of m. It cancel each other. So I have m now equal. What is the square root of 36?
6.
6.
And negative 6.
And negative 6. Don't forget, I have two solutions. Positive 6 and negative 6. So if you choose any one, you evaluating in this equation, you must get 0. So that means I have two solutions for this equation. Is it clear?
And
Yes,
teacher, when I
miss.
see yes.
Yes, teacher.
Let's go to B now. In this point here, 3x squared plus 15 equals 0. Let's now isolate it to the second term. What you will get? 3x squared equal what?
Equal negative 15.
Negative 15. Then this x is multiplied by 3 over 3 over 3. Why I do this step? Because I must isolate x squared alone without anything that is multiplying, dividing, subtracting, or adding. It must be alone.
No,
So
no
divide by
solution.
3, divide by 3. What you will get? You will get x squared equal negative 5.
No
Then,
solution.
then square root. Now, what is the number? Oh, before that, is there any square root for any negative number?
No. يعني
No.
non-real number.
No
Yes.
real number.
It is non-real number. So that means there's no
Solution.
solution. Is it clear? Because there's no two numbers that they are the same. If I'm multiplying them, I get negative 5. So I will say here there's no solution. Is it clear?
Yes.
Yes, teacher.
Let's talk about C now. In C, we have 4d squared plus 16 equals 16. I want to isolate d. What we have to do? Minus 16 minus 16. It is 4d squared equals 0. Then, what I have to do? Divide by what?
Divide by 4. It's one
Divide by
solution,
4.
which is 0.
So I have a d squared
Yes.
equals, then I square root. D is equal to, what is the square root of 0?
0.
Zero.
There's no, you don't say positive, negative, 0.
Zero.
The 0 has no sign. So that's why you will say we have only one solution for it. Is it clear?
Yes.
Yes,
It's very
miss.
nice and easy.
Do you have any question?
No, teacher.
No, miss.
No.
Oh.
Teacher, I have a question about real numbers.
Yes.
Teacher, what's the difference between real numbers and rational numbers?
The real is from, or the rational is a real number. The rational number is a real, but the real, like as an example, 3/4 is a real number.
Okay.
And positive 35 is a real number. And it will be also a rational number. It's a rational, it's like the rational is from the real.
Okay.
Now let's do this one here. This one here now, I want to do it. Here they ask me to find it by the equation. By solving the square root. But I want to show you that if I graph it, or if I, which is easier, I think this one is easier. If I graph it, or if I solving it by the square root, I will take the same answer. Okay, let's do number 27 now. Let's start with 27 first. In 27 here, we have a 5q squared minus 20 equals 0. As we said before, plus 20 plus 20. What we will get? We get 5q squared equal 20. Is it clear?
Yes.
Yes.
Divide by 5, divide by 5. So q squared equal what?
4.
Equal 4. Is it right?
4.
Then
Yes.
square root. So q it will be, what is the square root of 4?
2.
2.
2 and negative 2 and positive.
And negative 2. So I have two solutions.
2 and negative.
Now let's graphing it. Let's give them now to the Dismas calculator. 5q squared minus 25. Okay, don't forget it. 5q squared minus 25.
Teacher, how 25? It's 20.
Teacher, it's 20.
Sorry, 20.
Teacher, when the meeting ends, rejoin again.
Yes, please. 5, but after 1 minute, not now. 5x squared minus 20 to us.
Yes, 20.
Yes. Look at it here.
Yes,
Look at it here.
0.
Yeah, look at it here. The two solutions at both negative 2 and 2. That's what I solved by finding the square root.
Okay.
Okay, now
Okay.
please, I will stop
It's
here.
very easy.
Stop here, leave the meeting and rejoin me.